Hello everybody, the results of the day of the Deadpool solo event. Now this is something that I wanted to cover. The results have come in. I'm probably putting this video out on Tuesday because otherwise it's just like it's too much content being thrusted at you for one given day. Or I don't know when this video is going to go out. But it's something that I wanted to do a little bit of research behind because it's a little bit kind of like mathematics stuff that's interesting to follow up with it. So as a lot of you know, the day of the Deadpool was dropped on Friday. It had that gold side of things. We spent gold to get some stuff for the trade-in. But also the kind of really cool thing was there was a solo event for those that spent money. Cool to a degree, you know, I'm sure people would differ on that one. The solo event allowed an opportunity to pick up a 5-star Deadpool, which, look, you know, some people want to get. And that's a good collector's item. But only 1,000 people could get an opportunity to get that 5-star Deadpool. And there was a grind structure to this where you had to have, as what's on screen right now, you had to be able to, first of all, have a Deadpool X-Force, a Gold Pool, a Platinum Pool, a Venom Pool, a Gwen Pool, or a Massacre, 6 champions there, to have a shot to grind and gather points. So, firstly, it's a case that you would have to go, oh, right, okay, well, I get 1 point, good. But then, if you win a fight in arena with an Alliance Quest and Duels with Deadpool, you earn bonus points, which, you know, first of all, you get the Deadpool, which is great. And if you had a 3-star, that's great. If you didn't have a 3-star version, but you had a 4-star version, then there's, I don't know, there's still an opportunity. It's just not as clear cut, or not, well, it is clear cut, but just, I'd say it's more grindy for you, which has been, you know, a thing. Now, for me personally, I would have been interested in doing it, but I had other stuff on, like tax return and my sister's birthday. So it was, that's where the priority lies, you know, there's the quality of life side of things. I wanted to do that over just grinding out something over a weekend. And if not, I'd probably be spending time with Em, or at least trying to, because, you know, it's nice to have a life. Not to say the people that grind out extensively for this don't have a life, but, you know, sometimes you've got to kind of like say this game doesn't and should not rule your life when it comes to this stuff. Especially if you're paying £25 for it to enter it, you want to make sure that you are getting something for your money's worth. So what went down? How did it go? Well, the results, as I said, are in on this. So I've been sent a few things from people, which is nice. It's always nice to see it. So first of all, we've got from JB here, sends through, got position 467. And that was with a point grind of 668. Now that seems incredibly low, especially that number 1 got 5892 as what they were grinding. A lot of people were asking me for cutoffs, and I was like, or kind of like predictions. I was like, I don't know what the predictions are. This is a first time ever Kabam have run something like this, so it's kind of like, and I don't know because it's behind a paywall, and I've never bought it. You know, at least say like I've done this video so it can serve as a time capsule to if this ever returns as to what the cutoff was. And you think 464? Nah, we can do better than that, can't we? Well, that's why shout out to Mazoa. So Mazoa got one of the closest I've seen so far to the position 1000. And that's 961 with 295 grinded out. And that's always very interesting, because then what we can do is we can have a look at the numbers, the stats, the info, the math. And we can then get an idea of, well, what would be possible to grind out. The biggest thing about this is that you had to have the champions in order to get the points. Those champions are going to be stuff associated with the pools. They're going to be your Gwen pools. They're going to be your massacres and all that stuff. And, you know, I've got massacres a 6-star. I've got Gwen pool as a 5-star now. I've got a 4-star version of all these champions. And I've definitely got 3-star versions of all these champions. For me, point acquisition, if I didn't choose to do this, which, you know, maybe I'll do this in future if it ever returns, is, well, I might actually be interested in doing it. If it's a case that there's a low cutoff. Because as I said, like, it's a paywall. You still got to consider the fact that 25... is it? No, yeah, if I could do my maths then on that, like how much money was kind of like as earned by Kabam just in that kind of like instant. Yeah, so £25,000 were kind of like got over one weekend, which isn't like too bad. But then you got to think, were there any more? Were there any more people? Like, not saying like 1,000 people bought it, because maybe more bought it. Like if 20 to 50,000, but it's strange to see like such a low cutoff of points. But it's good as well, because as I said, if you're paying your money, you want to make sure you're at least getting a good stab at picking up the champion. But the biggest problem, as I said, going back to like the kind of main premise for this, is that you'd have to grind certain areas to pick up certain things, like arenas, duels, alliance quests, those kind of things. You get 5 duels free a day, so that's 15. So if you're doing Deadpool in those fights, then, and using your Deadpool to fight, then let's just assume that from this you are picking up, what, let's just say 30 points over the weekend based on 3-day events. So that's that. With your arenas, that's the other thing as well. Now, if you're using certain champions in arenas, then, and using your Deadpool, then you could be saying that you might be picking up in the region of, well, this is also the thing with it. Like arenas, as a lot of you know, depending on the rarity of any of the champions that are in question, they reset, as a lot of you know. So there's 3 stars there, right? They reset every 2 hours. Okay, so if they reset every 2 hours, that is going to mean that over 72 hours, you're theoretically going to have, divided by 2 on 72, that is going to be 36, right? So 36, then you times it by the mentioned champions. Say you've got that 4-star Deadpool, that factors into the mix. That could be, and this is the thing, going with estimates here, you know, I've put something in the description. Obviously, there's the main thing to point out is that there could be slight discrepancies based on you having X amount of champions, only having the Deadpool, those kind of things. So let's just say, let's hypothesize 180 points for the 3 stars that you might have. You say you got 5 of the mentioned champions, and then you've got 4 of the 4-star mentioned champions in the list. And again, if I've lost anybody, just to explain, you're kind of taking the champions you've got here, which is, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 champions there, and say you've got a limited amount of them for whatever reason. So you could say to yourself that it's actually over 72 hours of grind that you're picking up 324 points. But before I completely lose anybody, I mean, let's go with, do we really think people are going to like not sleep and grind out? I can imagine the person that decided to front up 5,000 points would think differently about that. It's kind of ridiculous to kind of think that somebody obviously has unloaded a hell of a lot of unit spend in order to get that top position. And that's, well, I mean, that is what it is with that. There are people out there that excessively spend on the game and excessively spend on mobile games. So at the end of the day, each to their own. You do you at the end of the day. Or they have got literally no sleep. I mean, I've looked at a method of kind of like just a quick mathematics and quick sums to kind of like go, well, it would be possible to quite easily get 300 points and still retain some element of sleep over the space of 3 days, providing you were doing a lot of this on and knew your rotations and of your resets, and also knew what champions you had to what you can get back. So if these people have grinded out, I think they've probably put in a bit of units into it. Whether or not it's money or whether or not it's unit investment, people were really interested in getting that 5-star Deadpool. So yeah, all very interesting looking over these sums. What's everybody's thoughts on the kind of like the Deadpool arena? Because like, would people be willing to put 72 hours of grind in it? Would you actually spend? Are you now seeing like how little in some cases that it went down with 295? Would you be more interested in this? Because the thing is, 295 is pretty doable. Yeah, you probably might need to do like duels with your Deadpool, have an alliance quest on, which for some reason, you know, it's kind of ill-fated because it wasn't on at the time with the Deadpool. Not to say that you wouldn't kind of on any other champion as well. Not to say you would like, I don't know, use a Gwenpool in like your map 7 lanes for whatever reason. No, not to say it's completely ridiculous, but people, you know, do be people at the end of the day. So that's just the thing, isn't it? Like, what are people's thoughts on this now that they've seen the results? And what do they think about the element of grind that was kind of capable in order to achieve this, or lack thereof to a degree? And also the people that are putting like huge amounts of units and rotations and resets in arena grind. Thoughts in the comment section. It'd be interesting to find out about this. But yeah, that has been the video. Make sure to check out some other content located on screen right now. And I'll see you in the next video, which should be best counters or best champion options for the Cosmic Eclipse quests.